I knew about CareerLabs from one of my ex-colleagues. I don't know if you know him. His name is Avinash. Avinash Gowda. He was working there in CareerLabs. So he joined IDP, where I was also working at IDP last year. So I mean, we are friends. So I kept discussing with him about my plans of studying MBA or applying to B schools. And we were researching on a lot of consultancies for the services. So he happened to recommend me to CareerLabs because he's worked here and he knows how the services over here is and things like that. So that's when I inquired more about CareerLabs, and I checked online, and then I spoke to Rajeshwari, and I got convinced and enrolled here. Yes, of course, of course. We initially had the editing of resume, the review of the resume and editing of the resume. There was a pause in between from my end because of my own personal commitments. So it was not back and forth quickly or spontaneously. So I did take a lot of time to get back with the reviews and submit it to the team. So there was a pause from my end. I completely take that on me. But when the moment I started doing it seriously, so it went really smooth. I can stress upon this. It went really smooth. The reviews that I was getting. Oh, by the way, the editor that I was who was assigned for me was Srijita Adhikari, I believe. So the inputs or the review or the things that were asked to change things in my resume were really helpful, and they made sense. So a lot of silly mistakes that I was making, or a lot of main mistakes that I was making, I was not quite aware of them. So she broke it down into parts, and then made me put all those correct details. And the review was not limited. This is the best part. It went on until we got the right words for my resume, until my resume made good sense for the B school. Because as students, as applicants, we will have lot many doubts, and the advisor may or may not be available at all times. And by referring to this portal, we get our answers, is what I can say. And sometimes we miss out on the regular webinars that is conducted by Kritika. So all of these things are recorded and put here in the portal, which we can access it at any given time. And yes, the portal, I can say, was resourceful. I mean, it is informative. Right. So these calls were really helpful. The pre-profile analysis and the profile analysis, and to bridge the gap that I have in my profile, because I come with a 15 years of education. But for B schools, to apply to B schools in the US, especially initially, yes, US was my first preference. So to apply to United States, we need to have 16 years of education. So during one of these calls, I was also suggested to take up 1 year PGDM course that would bridge that gap. So that was helpful, and along with that, I was also asked to focus a lot on my volunteering experiences or extracurricular activities, or even take up some related course towards management. So I happened to take business analytics course from ISB itself, and that's really been helpful for me to put all those insights to my current work. So yes, considering all these inputs, it really helped me build my profile, I can say. Nothing like a feedback, but I really appreciate the adherence of the TAT, because I would send out an email for any query, and Romy was there replying very actively. So the response that I was getting was quick, I can say, except for the week off part. That is probably on Monday, I believe. But yes, the replies really came out quickly, and whatever I emailed, the queries, maybe anything that was acknowledged and reverted to, probably within the given turnaround time, I believe. So there was no gap of communication, I can say, even though we don't get to talk to the advisors or anybody from the team over the call, like how it happens in the other places and other consultancies. So though we communicate through emails, there was no gap, I can say. It went really well. I can say in the entire application journey, the best and the most important part for me was the essay part. So even before I started writing the essay, I was given a very good framework and a breakup of what has to be written and what not has to be, and what should not be included. And if I am, and the breakup was also given in terms of word limit. So that really helped me initially. Yes, I went over and above and exceeded the word limit, and the team was really patient and helpful in bringing that number down to the limit that was actually supposed to be there in the document. So that was really helpful. Essays, I think, is the most important part for any application, right? So yes, the help that I was given, the assistance that I was given for essays was really great. I can say, I can stress on this, it was really great. I feel I have to be, there has to be some more clarity given on the interview preparation part, because initially I believe Rajeshwari telling me that I would be given assistance even for the interview part, but I was not told in detail as to what is included in the interview preparation part. So when I was talking to Romi about this, she told me that there is a different package for it, which costs some amount for the extensive help with the mock sessions and everything. So I was assuming that all these things are included in the ACS part itself, for the with the package that I have taken for 5 days. So that initial clarification was not there. If that was there, then we would have been more aware of the entire thing, or the deliverables at least. Course, yes. Of course, yes, definitely. Especially for someone who is looking for an assistance to apply to B schools for MBA, I will definitely recommend CareerLabs. I'm overall, I'm very happy with the services that I have got, undoubtedly. So I'm very happy about it. So I will definitely recommend CareerLabs to anyone I come across who's looking for applying to B schools for MBA or the master's degree program.